Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Thomas Jefferson said, "If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done." Benjamin Franklin said, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning." Basically, get off your duff, get to working, you've got dreams, you've got goals, you've got to do what it takes to get them. Like, subscribe, comment, show what your opinion is. Let me know if you like what you've seen. And I thank you for your support. So, people wonder why I prefer small government. Small government that is focused on the people, not on political goals, which require money, that requires them to take and take and take and take more and more from the folks that are in their jurisdiction. Well, El Paso just lost a law, they had to reach a settlement, basically. Let's just say that. With the Justice Department, because two of its contractors were auctioning off vehicles that were owned by service members. And all of this, now mind you, the vehicles that they were towing off were covered under Service Members Civil Relief Act. But El Paso didn't care. They were making money. And these service members were coming back, would come back from a war zone and find out their vehicles were gone. Seriously, this is what was happening. So, basically what happened here is that while folks were in Afghanistan, probably Iraq, that this was probably going on, the city of El Paso was using United Road Towing, which is actually based in Makina, Illinois, and Rod Robertson Enterprises Incorporated to tow off vehicles. These vehicles were all, there were 176 of them. They were all from members of the Army that were stationed at Fort Bliss. And how this came about was that Lieutenant Colonel Lisa DeChent was in Afghanistan. Somehow, an accident involving her partner of the time got the vehicle towed. They sold it at auction. And this is just one of 176 vehicles. Now, they would sell the vehicle because they would send a letter to this person at their address, and they'd have 20 days to respond. Well, if the person's in Afghanistan or Iraq, they can't respond. Or say they're in Africa or someplace like that, they can't respond. And so after the 20 days, they hold an auction, and the El Paso police is reimbursed for towing, preservation, and storage fees of the vehicle. And they have to hold the money for 90 days. But after 90 days, they get that money. Are you seeing how this is good for El Paso in making money? This is another form of civil asset forfeiture, only it's not civil asset. It's, I'm defending your country, we're going to take from you. You're going to take from me. This is what happens in these places. Now, here's the thing. These folks, and it's not just El Paso. We need to get that. You need to remember that. This isn't just El Paso making money. Per its contract, United Road Towing is paid between 38 and 40% of the net revenue from fees collected in connection with the operation of the facility, including vehicle storage, impoundment, notification fees. Also, they receive a percentage of the sale price of all auction vehicles. Now, try being deployed while you're in the military. Just think about that. You're off defending your country, and you're thinking, hey, I've got whatever I've got back home. Some of these folks, when they're in the military, their families living out in town, or there's off-base housing, or the person could just, have off-base housing where they've got folks that are living there that are stationed at Fort Bliss or whatever base you're at. And the city's thinking, hey, this is a good time to make a little money. That's the problem with government entities. This is what led to the Battle of Athens. This is what led to civil asset forfeiture. Government entities want what's yours. It's one of the reasons why, being a redneck from East Tennessee, really close to Athens, Tennessee, that's where we don't like government trying to get their money when it's not really their money. Why do you think we call them revenuers? Do you honestly believe that we care about who in the world we get our moonshine from? I mean, seriously, you go up in them hills, them old families are still, to this day, even though Prohibition's done with, are still making some shine out of a still. You think we're really wanting to deal with the federal government? It's because we have no reason to. The folks that make the shine have a far more reason, far bigger reason, there we go, far bigger reason to make sure that their shine is of quality. Why? Because you get some old redneck who buys shine from you, and you've done something that makes it crappy. You've done something that makes it of poor quality, not the quality that they want, or the folks around there feel like they're ripped off. Unlike going into a store that's government approved, you can get yourself shot up in the mountains, and ain't nobody gonna find your body for a long time. Now, most of the time that don't happen. Most of the time it's just somebody puts up their fist and goes, I'm gonna beat the living crap out of you, because they don't want you to die. But you've got those. It's a far better reason to maintain quality for rednecks up in the mountains. But this ain't the fact. This ain't what can happen when government entity gets involved. They can just take from you. And they do take from you. And rarely does things like this settlement from the Justice Department happen. Most of the time, the federal government's going, ooh, how can we get involved in their money scheme? This is what's going on out there, and people wonder why I want tiny government. Why I don't want government having all this power. Well, this is the reason why. But hey, This is something to think about, especially when you go thinking about, oh, voting's not important. Keep track. Don't keep the same people in office all the time because they get to doing stupidity like this. We've got police departments around the nation that keep trying to find ways to raise money. Well, it's time that you elect folks that are going to keep them in check. And we're not talking federal government, we're talking local government. But that's something for you to think about. This has been Paul with the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.